So here we have a commercial washing machine that's dead. We have a note here for the tenants. It says a coin-operated machine, and there is just no sign of life. It's completely dead. And yes, it is plugged in. Okay. And yes, we do have power. 117.6 volts. And so, save you all the blood, sweat, and tears, I discovered this board has a problem. Now there's a board right here that has a fuse and it's okay. But this board here, after I finally got this thing open, man, this thing was buried in here, but I got it out. And the problem is this fuse is open. So, this board, I don't know if you can see this, is glued. And it's not just glued, I mean, they have this layer of glue that goes all the way around. It even covers the surface of the board. So you can't get this board, it's not going to come out of this case easy. In other words, they want to sell you this whole thing. Unfortunately, this is unavailable. Unavailable. And even if I wanted to change that fuse, oh my God, how am I going to get past all this glue? I mean, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's literally a layer of it on top of the board. So, what we're going to do is a little trick. So what I did was I got some old circuit boards. And so you can see here on this board what I'm after. See the fuse on this board? This is an old microwave oven, and that's a 15 amp ceramic fuse, actually 16 amps, so that's a suitable replacement as a temporary fix. But see how that fuse clip, and here it is with the fuse removed. That's the part we're after. All right. And I took the fuse clips off the boards and I soldered two of them back to back in a piggyback fashion. And I believe I can use that now to clip over the old fuse with a new fuse. And so what we did was we literally chopped away some of that glue so we could get a clip on there. Just like that. See, that clip is just clipped on the old and then the new fuse, so we got to do the other one. And so there we have it. Let's see if this works. Let's try this out. As we can see, we now have a dead display. I mean, of course it's unplugged, but it was dead, unplugged or unplugged. Here we go. You hear that? And look at that. Here we go. Here we go. We're good to go. Well, of course, my victory was very short-lived. Click, click. Click, click. Yeah. And so this here is the reason why we blew the fuse. This is the door lock switch. Well, this is part of it. I took it apart to do some forensics. And I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's all fried and burnt. Probably my best guess is that these contacts got stuck, closed, and that would account for all the current going through the fuse, because it's only supposed to be momentary. You've heard those washing machines, they just go click, click, you know, click, click. It's not supposed to hold. So we changed that and we are good to go. Oh yeah. Sweet. We got it now. Holy moly, look at that thing go. Yeah. Success. Yeah, you can see why these things have the door lock. Holy mackerel. I never knew these things went quite like that. I don't know if you can even see that on video. Jeez. Actually, I'm going to show you how we take this thing apart. Start off by unplugging it. First thing you want to do is get this front panel off. 2 security screws here. Torx screws. So get that off. Actually, I take that back. First, you want to get this drawer out of the way. And it's not intuitive. You would think that this might be the little what's holding it, and it's not. It's actually what just looks like the separator for the compartments. That's the part you need to push down on. See? A little hook right there. Yeah. After you get that out of the way, you got 1 Torx here. Okay, and you got 1 Torx here. Those are the only 2 you got to take out. Give it a good violent shove and you'll get that lid to slide back. This is not a very good design in my opinion as a retired engineer, because if you slide it back too far, the little catches, which I'll show you later inside, will now go underneath. You'll see what I'm talking about, and you can't get the lid up. So you slide it all the way back, and it's got to come forward just a little bit. Yeah, just like that. All right, I'm after this board here. It's in here. We're going to want to get these 2 out of the way. And then there's one right here that's got to come out, and then it slides. You can see how it slides here. This is what I was talking about. If you slide it back so that this little hooks under there, so you slide the cover back until it clears, goes in that open area. But if you go too far, it now slides under that. So there's a little window of opportunity right there. Yeah, for whatever reason. You're also going to need to take this loose. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's a screw there. And you're going to see various twisties, and it still won't come out, even when you get all of this stuff out of the way and you get the twisties and the zip ties out of the way, because it's locked in with a series of zip ties. If you can see here, there's a harness. That harness goes up to the box. You won't be able to get the box loose. The way you get those zip ties loose is you take this panel here off. Well, actually, you get them loose by just squeezing them with some pliers, right, on this side. And you can shove them back through the hole, but to get them back on, that's what this access panel will give you access to putting them back on. All right, so I've come back to redo this. Here's my original clip-to-clip affair. I'll take that out so you get a better look at it. This was a temporary fix. We got the tenants to use the washing machine for a week, but now I got the correct part. I'm going to show you how I do that. So here's my little temporary fix, my emergency fix. You can see how it works. This clips to the old fuse, and I soldered two clips together, back to back, piggybacks, and this is the new fuse. It just clips on like that. Unfortunately, the clips that I got from different circuit boards weren't the same, so this thing turned out to be different heights, and it was lopsided and angled, but it worked for a week, and that's all I was looking for. So you can see here how I chopped away. I had to chop away at that silicone in order to make room for those clips to get in there. I actually just sort of chopped it away on each side of the clip. Now I don't know if you can see this on camera, but see this silicone? It covers, there's a layer of it, goes over the whole board all the way around. The whole board is covered with this. So I'm not really liking the idea of cutting this board out of the case and getting to that silicone. So I'm going to actually utilize what I've done here for the next fix. So this is actually the correct fuse, exact replacement, 15 amp pigtail ceramic fuse. And so what I opted for here was to solder the new fuse. I'm going to clean up that little pigtail in a second here and see that sticking out. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm soldering the new fuse right to the old fuse. Now one might think, okay, well look, why don't you just solder the head of each end right to the head of each end, more solid connection, right? Problem is, when you try to solder right on the head of the fuse, I've done that before, sometimes the fuse will open up. So using this full length of the pigtail has that advantage. The advantage to these is that this material they use on the ends of the fuse does lend itself well to soldering. So there's my fix. I'm going to clean that up a little bit, but that's it. Okay, clean that up a little bit. I mean, for what we're doing, put the cover back on and we're good to go. And there we go. Oops, I should have put my laundry in there. All right. That's it.